After my mother passed, the house felt silent, empty. While cleaning her attic, I found a small leather-bound diary, locked with a tiny brass key. I found the key in her old jewelry box. Opening that diary felt like a transgression, a secret I wasn't meant to know. The first entry was from 1998. She was 16, and she was pregnant. I read for hours, my heart breaking for the scared, lonely girl my mother had been, hiding her secret from everyone. She wrote about the baby with so much love, a boy. She decided to give him up for adoption, to give him the life she couldn't. It was her greatest sacrifice. Then I read the entry from the day he was born. She described him perfectly, his tiny hands, his cry, and a small, perfect birthmark on his shoulder, shaped like a crescent moon. I dropped the diary. My blood ran cold. My husband, Liam, the man I love more than anything, he has that birthmark. I've traced it with my finger 1,000 times. He was adopted. He never knew his birth mother. The dates. I ran to our bedroom, my hands shaking as I pulled his old adoption papers from our files. The date of birth on the certificate matched the date in the diary, to the day, to the hour. I felt the floor drop out from under me. The walls of our life, the beautiful life we had built, they were crumbling into dust around me. Liam came home that night, smiling, asking what was for dinner, and I just stood there, holding the diary, looking at the man I married, my mother's son. I showed him. I watched his face drain of color as he read her words, his own origin story written by a ghost he never knew. There's no manual for this, no guide for what to do when your husband is your brother, when the greatest love of your life is the lost son of your mother. We haven't told anyone. We live with this silence between us now, this impossible truth. Our love story was a tragedy in the making. We had unknowingly closed a circle that should have never been completed. And now, we're trapped inside it, together. The silence was the worst part. We stopped touching. The house we had filled with laughter became a museum of a life we used to have. Sleep offered no escape. We became ghosts, haunted by a truth we couldn't outrun. So we started running towards it. We needed to know why. Our grief turned into a single shared obsession, finding the father. We drove to the small town where my mother grew up. We spent days in the dusty high school library, poring over old yearbooks. Her face, young and hopeful, stared back at us from every page. And then we found him, a boy with a shy smile, his arm draped casually around her in a group photo. His name was Daniel. They looked so happy, so innocent. There was only one person left who would know the whole story, my mother's older sister, my Aunt Carol. We drove to her house, the yearbook on the back seat like a piece of evidence. I placed the diary and the yearbook on her coffee table. I asked her why my mother had to give up her son, why she never told me. Carol's stern face finally broke. She told us everything. Daniel's family was poor, wrong side of the tracks. My grandparents, her parents, were cruel and obsessed with appearances. They forbade the relationship. When they found out she was pregnant, they gave her an ultimatum: give the baby up, or they would ruin Daniel's family and disown her completely. She chose to protect them both. It wasn't just a teenage mistake. It was a love story destroyed by hate. My mother didn't just give up her son, she gave up the love of her life. And Liam was the living proof of that stolen love. Driving home, Liam reached over and took my hand. It wasn't the hand of a husband. It was the hand of the only other person in the world who understood. Our love wasn't a mistake. It was an echo, a ghost. We decided to honor the love story our parents were never allowed to have, to live a life for them, not as husband and wife, but as a family of two, bound by a secret history. Our own strange, beautiful, tragic kind of family.